Insomniac have made some great games over the years, from the crazy wacky fun of Sunset Overdrive to the Pixar-esque quality of Ratchet & Clank, and even the gaming icon Spyro the Dragon. That said, it's arguably been a while since the studio have created something that's truly incredible. Marvel's Spider-Man, however, is just that. The Spider-Man license is one that's been plagued with mediocre video games and movie tie-ins. Thankfully this time around though, with some incredible web swinging mechanics, awesome set pieces, strong combat and downright immense production values have led to a game that's truly special. Right from the get-go, the title does a fantastic job of just making you feel like Spider-Man. This is the best web slinging in any Spidey game to date, even the infamous Spider-Man 2. Holding R2 sends you swinging forward fairly automatically, and by timing the jump button whilst coming out of a swing, you're able to get further height and momentum. The swinging has a fairly short learning curve, but the basics are straightforward enough to pick up and play. Over time I was able to pick up some incredible momentum and speed, especially after unlocking various swinging based mechanics such as the ability to pull yourself forward twice without losing height mid-air. The result is some of the finest open world traversal seen in video games. Those webs even attached to buildings specifically rather than just empty skylines often seen in previous Spidey games, allowing you to curve around skyscrapers in satisfying fashion. The buildings come together to create a spectacular recreation of New York City. Thanks to some impressive visuals and gorgeous lighting, swinging around the city just feels stunning. It surprised me just how detailed the city was too, from underground motorways and junctions to tons of civilians and vehicles. There is a shocking amount of work that has gone into creating this perception of a living, breathing city at ground level. Particularly surprising in a game where you'll spend most of your time flying through the skies. Insomniac's love and attention to detail really does shine here. The game's combat takes some obvious cues from the Arkham series, chaining together combos of attacks to build your focus meter. When enemies are about to attack, a spider sense indicator displays above Spider-Man's head, allowing you to dodge in time. It sounds familiar, right? Even down to the button combination of triangle and circle to initiate a finishing attack after building your focus meter. Whilst the game's combat is somewhat derivative, it still manages to feel fresh, satisfying and certainly suits the game perfectly. Spidey is much more agile than Batman, allowing you to swing and zip around between enemies. The further into the game you go, the more things open up too, thanks to various gadgets, generally unlocked via story progression. These gadgets end up adding a substantial amount of depth to the combat system. In combination with that is the game's progression system. Spidey levels up as you complete story missions, side missions and various activities. With each level grants a skill point, allowing you to purchase a new skill or a modifier for one of the game's 3 skill trees. You're never locked into any tree though, so you can mix and match as you see fit. These skills range from various traversal options such as boost jumping to the ability to steal an enemy's weapon mid-fight. The more you play, the deeper the game's mechanics go, and the more options that you have available to you. Simply put, this is a game that gets way more enjoyable the more you play. I found myself enjoying the game far more in the 10th hour than I did in the first. Don't get me wrong though, it is a blast to play from the start, but it's a game that absolutely continues to improve as you play. Gadgets can also be improved and suits unlocked using tokens earned via the various side activities on offer. These side activities include standard Spider-Man affairs such as police scanner alerts for criminal activities such as stolen vehicles or shop robberies, etc. And there's also backpacks to find and even slightly more unique activities such as catching pigeons or various research station tasks, which end up feeling like mini missions in their own right. While some of the activities do feel a little overly familiar, the core gameplay of swinging around the city is just so damn fun that I had a blast doing them. There's also a bunch of locations to take shots of using the in-game camera. I had way more fun than expected taking photos of buildings from awkward mid-air angles while swinging past them at speed. Oh, and about that photo mode. Spider-Man's photo mode is one of the best I have experienced in recent memory, allowing you to tweak almost every aspect of the shot you'd like. Adjust the FOV, the tilt, whether Spider-Man's present or not, and even flip the camera mount to take amusing selfies mid-swing. It's sure to lead to some awesome shots online. The game's story kept me interested throughout too, with multiple twists and turns. Granted, many of the plot twists can be seen coming, it's fairly standard Spider-Man affair. However, it does feel almost perfectly in line with the series films. This is a game that almost feels like it was literally directed to that same production quality that you've come to expect from a Marvel cinematic experience. Freaking nailed it. Spider-Man isn't perfect though. The game has numerous stealth sequences throughout which just never feel great. Spider-Man's zippy movement works better when it's used on a larger scale. Once you're indoors trying to jump between small beams and remain undetected, it just starts to feel a little clunky. It's clear that stealth wasn't the game's mechanical focus. Whilst the Arkham series can't match Spidey's incredible movement, their stealth mechanics are significantly superior. Thankfully though, the game makes use of some great regular checkpointing, along with surprisingly fast load times. Even playing on hard, I never felt frustrated in the slightest. In fact, the harder difficulty felt perfect for me, forcing me to make smarter combat decisions and utilise all of the tools that were available. Upon each death, it's only a matter of seconds before you're right back where you left off as well. Insomniac obviously prioritised fun over frustration, which was welcome. The game borrows plenty from various open world titles that have come before it. Yes, there's even Ubisoft style towers which unlock icons on your map. As eye-roll inducing as that might seem, the game's core gameplay and movement is just so damn right fun that they managed to get away with it. There's so many little touches of love here that I could easily spend all day going over each one, from the way the perfectly fitting music kicks in as you begin web slinging from a standstill, to the amusing fast travel loading screens. Insomniac have probably hidden a ton of Easter eggs in here too. The world is vast, detailed, and it's an absolute pleasure to traverse around. This is a game that's obviously been made with intense passion, care, and attention to detail. Spider-Man highlights just what happens when a great dev is given a brilliant license, blank check, and plenty of time to come up with something that is truly special. The game is undoubtedly one of the best superhero video games I have ever played. I can't wait to see what Insomniac have up their sleeves next. Marvel's Spider-Man is certainly up there as one of the finest games released this year. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.